Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Moose here with Airguns of Michigan, and today we're talking HFT. I am super stoked. I have been kind of kicking this gun around in my mind for quite some time, and I finally went ahead and pulled the trigger and was able to procure my BSA Gold Star SE. This is in 177 caliber. This is a regulated sub 20 foot-pound gun. Right now we are shooting roughly 887 feet per second average in a 19 to 20 shot string. I say 19 to 20 because during my chronograph testing I had one pellet that didn't register. So while I had a 19 or a 20 shot string, only 19 of them registered. This gun is specific to me for shooting hunter field target. Although it is incredibly accurate, I am blown away by the ability of this gun more than myself. That is for sure. This gun is much more accurate than I am. Couple of things that I wanted to talk about is, number one, the adjustable hamster. This kind of makes this gun a little bit easier to offhand, whereas I can place my elbow into my stomach and then place my palm on the hamster, balancing the gun out. The adjustable cheek riser and the adjustable butt pad with both cant and length of pull adjustment. This Aztec scope that's on here is not the scope that's going to stay on this gun. I just simply put it on there because I don't already have a second focal plane scope that I want to put on this. I am looking at the Hawk Sidewinder 4-16 by 50 or the Hawk Air Max 4-16 by 50, both in second focal plane, as it is an HFT gun. Second focal plane makes it a little bit easier to read measurements and things of that nature. So I took the advice of Tom Holland, whom, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you see Tuesdays with Tom. And I decided to go with a second focal plane scope to get started and see how everything works out. The trigger on this gun is absolutely phenomenal. It is probably the best trigger I have yet to have on an air gun. True story. I mean, it is the two-stage on this, especially for as light as this trigger is still a noticeable break point. I have not done a trigger pull test on this gun yet, but I can assure you this trigger is incredibly lightweight, and the first and second stage is a very definite noticeable difference. The gun itself, I would say, is not necessarily backyard friendly with the supplied air stripper. I actually took my air stripper off. It's on now, but I wanted to show you guys what the gun looked like with it on there. And I replaced it with a 0 dB compact moderator. I did that because even though I live in the country, I do live on a lake and I have close by neighbors, and it definitely just keeps the gun a little bit more in check. It's not a breaking the sound barrier gun, as it is shooting between 17 and 18 foot-pounds of energy, but it is still a cracking little noise when it goes off. The barrel itself is not shrouded at all. This is a BSA cold forged barrel, cold hammer forged, I'm sorry. And I'm going to tell you, it is phenomenally accurate. The cocking mechanism is smooth and easy to work with, being to just pull back. The safety is a mechanical. We'll get to that in a second here. You can decock the gun simply by holding on to the cocking lever and pulling the trigger. The safety itself is a mechanical, safe, and fire. You can engage the safety while the gun is uncocked, unlike some guns that like to be cocked before the safety is actually engaged. The max fill pressure on this is 232 bar, and honestly, The only gripe that I have about this gun is the fill probe. In the manual, the fill probe is described as, when being used, is to insert said fill probe and drive it home. These are the words of BSA in their own manual. However, if you push this all the way in, you will blow O-rings right off the end of your fill probe. You actually have to guess to where this fill probe sits inside of your fill port area so that you can fill your gun. I have since learned, after going through about 6 to 10 end O-rings on my fill probe, that this is the way that this works. I did get this gun from Airguns of Arizona. Big shout out to Airguns of Arizona for helping me out and the channel out by giving me a decent discount on this gun. So my hat's off to Airguns of Arizona. I definitely appreciate you guys' time. When I had the issue with the fill probe, I actually called Airguns of Arizona and spoke with their technicians. And their technicians advised me that this is completely normal for a BSA gun. Being that this is the only BSA gun that I own, I don't have anything else to go by, so I take their word for it. I thought maybe I just got the wrong fill probe and maybe I needed one with a little bit longer extension on the end. Apparently that is not the case. Do I accept that answer? Does seem to work when I don't shove it all the way in. But still a little frustrating. I think for this kind of money, BSA should make a better fill probe that doesn't blow O-rings like crazy. And now I understand why, when I received the gun, that in my fill probe baggie there was about 10 extra O-rings. Be nice if BSA put that in their manual, or if I find out that maybe I do have the wrong fill probe. I don't know. I can only base this on what the technicians at Airguns of Arizona told me. I don't own another BSA. We'll make that clear. So these are dovetail mounts up top, and I suppose if you wanted to, you could change those to Picatinny by adding some kind of rail, you know, offset from dovetail to Picatinny. But personally, I don't mind having dovetail mounts. They work fine for me. I don't understand half the time when people are all up in arms. Don't get me wrong, it would be nice if they were Weaver or Picatinny, but it is what it is. So, but there is a couple of different upgrades I want to do. One, I'm still trying to figure out how I get a ball trigger shoe. I've seen some of these guns where instead of having a shoe, they actually have a steel ball bearing on these. I don't know if those are custom made, and if they are, I want to know who makes them. I like that idea. Something really nice and easy to get my finger in, where my finger doesn't have the ability to pull or push as much as having a ball bearing. I think that's a great idea. I have thought about reversing my hamster the other way. I saw a gentleman online who did the same thing and utilized this curvature here for the palm of his hand by just simply taking this, unscrewing it, flipping it around, and running the hamster backwards. Thought that was a great idea as well. I can tell you that the only range that I've shot this edge is about 25 yards, and putting 20 pellets, JSB 10.3 grains, through the same hole. I made a hole about as big as the end of this probe with 20 shots, and that was impressive in 177. Can it do better? I think so. Can I do better? The future will tell. But till then, this is what we have. So I can honestly tell you that I will be shooting some more videos of this. It is now getting to be good in springtime, so I'm gonna be spending some more time out at the range. I just ordered a spotting scope with a GoPro mount on it, so I'm going to be able to show targets off of a secondary GoPro, and you guys will be able to see my shooting groups. I do have a side shot, but I just found that, honestly, I think a spotting scope is the way to go. But with that being said, that'll be going forward in the future. You guys will see this out being shot. You will see my impacts being shot. You will see a lot of my other guns being shot as well. So with that being said, I'm Moose. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And this is Airguns of Michigan. Till next time, take care.